Welcome back to Soul Reaver. Last time we have moved around some blocks, and now we will get to Melchiah by means of moving around even more blocks. And this is why Melchiah are such a nuisance. They simply burrow underground, and it can take sometimes an annoyingly long time for them to get out. Thankfully this one was not as bad. As we proceed to our next puzzle, to our next objective, I would like to point out one thing, and I have never mentioned it before, but it is really something that could be noticed from the very beginning of the game. It's the music. The thing is, unlike Blood Omen, which the music of which is never essentially reused later in the series, pretty much all the music, this as far as I can remember, that we will hear here in Soul Reaver is going to be used in Soul Reaver 2 and especially Defiance. Blood Omen 2, however, to be honest, I don't even remember if it has any music. That's how unremarkable that is. And this is our first puzzle, or rather the first part of the puzzle that we need to solve to get to Melchiah. We have two switches, two levers. The first one does nothing, so we have to pull the other one. And honestly, this is one of those puzzles that are completely unclear until after you have solved it at least once. I have no quarrel with you, get away. And the first part of the puzzle involves turning on this machinery and then moving the platform that was in that large room one level downstairs. However, as you can see, the gears, they are not together, they do not touch each other, which is fixed by pulling a lever. After that we pull another lever, and then we pull a third lever, and that will conclude the first part of this puzzle. It is exactly as complicated as it sounds. I really like to use these water pipes as spears, because that's how they function, despite not being seemingly able to impale anything as a spear would be able to. Now we have to get this platform 2 more levels down, but not before disposing of some Melchiah. Now look at this block. See how the tile under Raziel is different here? This is actually a hint to how to solve the next puzzle. And we will need this block later to get back, and that's why we want it out now, just in order to save time. And there's this other burrowed Melchiah here, and he will get out, and I don't remember if we get to destroy him, but I think we avoid that. Still, on to the next part of the puzzle, which is, yay, moving blocks. So this entire puzzle involved pulling a few levers and then moving around some blocks. And this is the part where I will begin to include the possibility to skip block puzzles because they are honestly unremarkable. But before that, I try to show you what happens if you just proceed and the gate is closed. And the only reason why we are trying to lower that platform is to get the gate to open. How that works, I do not know. There is no explanation, even according to video game logic. Now, what we have to do with these blocks with flame on top of them, I'm not sure how it works, is to destroy the supports, destroy the 4 supports. It will bring the platform down 1 level, and then we have to move the blocks into the center of the platform itself, and it will somehow move the platform 1 more level, and it will be at the lowest position. And basically that is the entirety of the puzzle. Thankfully, this is not one of those puzzles that has to deal with the patterns, so it's less uninteresting than the ones that do, but still this one is pretty boring because this one takes a long ass time, just like any other block puzzle in the game. Enjoy if you wish so. Why would Melchiah have all these constructs in his domain? What is the purpose of all this? I do not know. That's a pretty large stretch even on video game logic. And we're done. And now we can go see Melchiah himself. And as you can see, Raziel is almost out of health because that's how long it really takes. The hilarious thing is that Melchiah is also a puzzle.
Show yourself, creature.
Do you not recognize me, brother? Am I so changed?
Melchiah?
Yes, brother. You should have stayed where the master sent you, Raziel. You will find Nosgoth less pleasant than you remember.
What has become of my clan? Answer me, little brother, or I will beat an answer from your horrid lips.
Everyone is afraid, sibling. You awake to a world of fear. These times of change are so unsettling. Do you think I feel no revulsion for this form? Do you believe for a moment that our Lord would risk his empire upon an upstart inheritance?
Enough riddles. What are you saying?
You are the last to die.
So, Melchiah. Let's try hitting him. By the way, I just can't get enough of this waddling. It makes me crack up every time. This is hilarious. Still, Melchiah does a crap ton of damage. And more importantly, he also exists in the spectral realm. And now I decide that it's a good idea to show off what happens when you are killed in the spectral realm.
As my agent, you are beyond death, Raziel. Your enemies cannot destroy you. If you grow too weak, however, you will always be drawn here to recover. Beyond the ruins of your former stronghold, and above the gardens of the dead, your brother Melchiah waits.
I thought for a second that maybe Tony J has something new to say, but no. So now, instead of forcing you to watch through all this, I will just cut it back to Melchiah, because there's absolutely no point to do this. And this is not required by the game, I did it myself. Okay, we're back here for take 2.
Welcome, brother.
I just cannot handle this. Okay, now let's get to actually solving / defeating this puzzle boss. Now, the annoying feature of this boss fight is that Melchiah doesn't detect Raziel throughout the entirety of this arena. Because unfortunately this time I was too damn fast for Melchiah to react, and he's actually stuck as of this moment at the other end in the small room where he trapped him last time. And the result, unfortunately, we have to release the lever and go and get him. Then wait for him to graciously and almost serenely waddle towards Raziel and catch him again. And then get him into the central section and get him crushed. Now, the reason why Melchiah is deformed in the specific way that he is the fact that Melchiah, being essentially a rotting corpse that is with a rotting immortal corpse, has to sew extra flesh onto his body in order to be able to maintain him, or at this point rather itself. And the reason why he partially exists in the spectral realm is apparently his and his clan's affinity to death. Now to get him to the center. As you can see, this triggers this machinery, and once he's in this central section, in this cage, we can finally finish him off.
Tell me, Melchiah, where can I find Kain?
The Master is beyond your reach, Raziel. He makes himself known when he sees fit, not when commanded. I'm released.
done well, Raziel.
Am I reduced to this? A ghoul? A fratricide?
Elevated, Raziel, not reduced. Consuming Melchiah's soul has endowed you with a new gift. Insubstantial barriers such as these are no impediment to you in the spectral realm. Will yourself to pass through, and you shall.
And you know what, normally I would cut it off here, but if you didn't watch the block puzzle, which you probably didn't if you're sane. By the way, this is the machinery, which I don't know why would Melchiah have it. This turns out to be a fairly short video. And this is what happens when you try to move through a grate in a material realm. This will be a very short video, so instead I will make some additional use of this new ability that Raziel gained to shift through grates in the spectral realm. And we will get our hands on our first health power-up, which is not far from here, but still I think it's a neat little bonus. I use the word "but" there as if there's some... as if the fact that it's not far from here is somehow contradictory to it being a neat little bonus. I am so great at language. And this is why we needed this block outside, because it would have taken a bit more time to get back to the material realm and to move it out again. This is just a time-saving measure. I apologize for butchering words, but this is what happens when I'm a bit sleepy.
Return to the sanctuary of the clans, Raziel. Melchiah's soul has endowed you with the means to gain entry. Beware, however. This hollow derelict is abandoned, but not uninhabited.
We will do that next time. Now we are going to get the health power up. And it cannot be seen from here. There it is. And it's in the water, meaning that we're gonna have to do it in the spectral realm anyway. And we will be able to run away from these Slua, fortunately. So they are a nuisance.
These artifacts enhance your stamina, enabling you to prolong your material manifestation. Gather 5 to complete the emblem, and thereby augment your strength.
Now this lake can be explored, but we will not do that because we lack the capability to get to anything else in this bottom of the lake. And in the next part we will get to Kain's Sanctuary. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Goodbye.